Salutations everyone, this is Razor giving you guys an Overwatch video today talking about the most popular character in the entire game, Mercy. She's getting a rework in the PTR that is live right now. Some huge changes to the character. I would say the biggest since the Symmetra change that got rid of her shields and gave her that photon shield, as well as the shield generator to go along with the teleporter. In that the ult is completely different, and now her old ult Resurrection is now an ability that has a 30-second cooldown, single target. So big changes. The new ultimate Valkyrie will give her the ability to fly for like 20 seconds, I think it is, and increases everything that she can do: healing, damage boosting, shooting, and her res is on a 10-second cooldown during that and is automatically refreshed when Valkyrie mode is entered into. So those are some huge changes. Now, will this solve the Mercy problem? Now, I know you may be wondering, like, well, what is the Mercy problem? Well, Mercy is a very interesting case of a hero. She is by far the most used character in the entire game. When you take a look at all levels of play, she's the #1 played hero. She's the most mained hero, the most one-tricked hero. It has the most powerful ult, right now in the game. Has always had a huge impact, especially on the lower levels of play, and is not seen in as much in high levels of play or in competitive professional Overwatch, and is the easiest character to play. So she's the easiest to play, the most popular, at low levels has the most impact, and you don't see nearly as much in high levels. Really in any during any time frame, especially since Ana came out and kind of ruled the meta there for some time. She still does see some use in pro play. You don't see her pick rate as high in, say, Masters and Grandmasters, but you do see her sometimes, and you do see her on certain maps, in certain situations, in the professional circuit. So why is this the case? She's very easy to play. She is not a skill character. She doesn't really, she has offensive capability. She has that Caduceus gun, but she's a character that isn't gonna be getting kills. If you're playing her right, you're probably not gonna have her gun out almost at all. There are very few situations where it's a good idea to have the gun out. Most of the time you want to be away from the fire and healing up your teammates or boosting your teammates so they can do damage, because they could do more so than you ever could as Mercy. And she has gotten a few changes to make her better. She got those iframes for her ults. The cooldown to Guardian Angel is now the lowest cooldown ability in the entire game. And her res is the most valuable ultimate in the game. It's the most game-changing ultimate that there is. It can swing an entire team fight, and it can swing an entire game because of its ability to bring players back from the dead, no matter how many there are. Now this, as Jeff Kaplan explained in the developer rundown talking about these changes, is it created certain behaviors that were counter to what Overwatch is all about, and that made Mercy players hide and not heal, wait for all tell their team to die at once so that she could get a big old res, and that wasn't good. It didn't feel right to have a healer not healing their team and to have their whole team die. And on the business end, as we've all grown accustomed to, you could get an entire team wipe, and then Mercy comes there and says, "Fuck you bitches, I got iframes, you can't kill me, and my entire team is back from the dead, and we win this fight that we just lost because now we have the ult advantage and we're all healed and you used up, an ult or two, or some of you are damaged or something like that." You're immediately at a huge advantage if your team gets a big res, no matter what the situation is, really. And that really hurts the game and kind of just takes everything away. You can get a super good team fight where you just get the team kill real quick. You get Graviton, Dragons, or Pharah, or, you know, you get a nice little wombo combo out there, or, you know, a huge boop to get the team off the point, and then Mercy just comes in and goes, and you can't hit me because I got iframes for days, and now my entire team is back, and the game can be won just off of that ultimate. You can't really have that kind of impact with any other ultimate in the game. And she heals so much. She's the most healing healer. You'll get the most heals out of her because she will heal the most consistent damage taken per second. She has no cooldown on her healing abilities. You can get to your teammates very, very quickly. You know, she is quite squishy. She isn't the most mobile character in the game, although she does have a lot of you know, mobility options, and the fact that she can fly to any character on her team with the shortest cooldown in that ability in the entire game. The pharmacy combo has always been pretty big, and there's the triple res that stops our team from taking it right here. So it's just, it cheapens getting kills and getting multi-kills, and takes that away to where it's not really fair that one button can negate what an entire team did with their ultimate combos, or with their sheer ability to wipe out the entire team at once, which often can lead to a straight up win or a straight up hold, or completely change the direction that the cart is moving, or in overtime, or holding that second point on C2P, or, you know, getting that second point. It has a humongous impact in the game. So what this res change does is that there's no more multi-reses. So if you get a team kill, then that can no longer be negated by anything else in the game. And I think that's fair. But at the same time, you still get to resurrect people, because that's kind of Mercy's thing. She resurrected a couple of characters in this game. And, you know, I'm talking about Genji and Reaper here. And she still gets the ability to do that, but it is on cooldown. It will now, instead of having the shortest cooldown in the game, she will now also, in addition, have the longest cooldown in the game, because that resurrect, which will be one target, is every 30 seconds. So due to this change, I feel like she's going to be, and with the new Valkyrie ultimates, can you know, not have as big of an impact, but still have a good impact as a support ultimate, like, you know, dropping the beats or Transcendence or something like that, because in her Valkyrie mode, the heal beams have, you know, they heal more per second. They chain to a number of your teammates, so you're not just healing one target, you're healing multiple targets if they're in, you know, a certain proximity, and the range of which you can heal them or fly to them is much better for you. Much better range on your beam, which is already ludicrously huge. I mean, in this game, you can heal through walls, you can heal through levels. You can be on the first floor, they can be on the second floor, you're still healing. There's so many things that Mercy's beam can heal through, and that is going to become stronger in Valkyrie, but that's only going to last 20 seconds, and also, it doesn't make her like a super duper tank. She's not gaining, you know, 1,000 shields or healing her, having a healing factor herself that's dramatically increased. So while that is powerful, it can still be shut down by, you know, going off and killing the Mercy. But if everyone is protecting her while getting healed or damage boosted by her, and she's resurrecting one every 10 seconds while she's in Valkyrie mode, her ultimate can still have a very big impact, just not game changing. In the way that it should not have been. And especially at the lower levels of play, Mercy is kind of, you have to have a Mercy at the lower levels of play, in solo queue, in matchmaking, where you don't have everybody chatting, you're not going to be focus firing. Mercy is the #1 carry hero in the game, if you know, anything below Masters, really. I would include Diamond in that conversation. At Platinum, Gold, Silver, Bronze, Mercy is the meta. She is the hero in solo queue, where you're playing with a bunch of strangers and not having the greatest communication, or Focus Fire, because Mercy can heal so much. She is a fun character to play. It's kind of like just playing like a resource management game. You're playing like Burger Time or something, where everyone is their own little station. And you're like, oh, we're healing here, and now I'm going to fly over, heal them, heal them, heal them, and just trying to keep everybody alive all at once, switching targets. You know, then everyone's healed, then you boost the McCree or the Hanzo or the Soldier or something, and then you go back to healing. And she can be a very fun character to play, and she's very, very easy to play, so you can understand the broad appeal that this character has. And I don't think these changes are going to change that. They're going to take away the ability for her to take an absolute entire control of the game, with solo, you know, reason being her ult. She still will be able to heal as much, and with the Valkyrie, she'll be able to heal even more so now. So she is still going to be the most popular character in the game, the most picked character in the game, and the most important character in the game at the lower levels of play, because she can still do all the healing, which is still the most important part of her kit. But the res will no longer dictate the winner and the loser of that match just because of one button press, because they're hiding away and getting that triple or quad or pentuple resurrection that will take the game away from the team that was obviously performing better. But with this, also with this change, the fact that she'll get a resurrect every 30 seconds is super valuable. And with you know, getting, and since she has, you know, the fastest charging ultimate still in the game, I don't think her, you know, ultimate gaining rate is going to be changed much here, because they're not, you know, changing the way that she can heal or anything like that. She will get even more reses because of that. So you're still going to have a bunch of reses. They're always going to be single target, but the fact that you'll have one at least every 30 seconds, and with her ultimate every 10 seconds, and actually it resets as soon as you get the ultimate, so you could resurrect, pop Valkyrie mode, then immediately resurrect someone again, and then 10 seconds later, if you're still alive, you can resurrect a third one. So because of these changes, I see Mercy's pick rate at the higher levels of play, including in pro play, being picked up. Obviously, when it comes to professional play, team wipes are more common because of the Focus Fire and the way that they hold chokes, and the way that they can defensively hold a map and use their ultimates, you know, better than anybody else, with the nano blades and the grabs and the hammer downs, to where they get so many team wipes, and, you know, there are so many one-sided pro matches, to where Mercy, you would think she would have a lot more value because she can get like a full team res or like a quad res. She would probably be part of that, because there's a reason we don't see her, you know, as much as Ana or Lucio or even Zen at pro play, because of her ability to be focus fired, and her ability to not be able to run away as easily. She doesn't have defense or an offensive ability like Lucio can boop you away, or Zen can get a Discord on you and then pop you in the head a couple of times. Mercy doesn't have that offensive ability to keep herself safe, to protect herself, and Roadhog pushes me away from getting the big res there. But because of this change, we do see Mercies at pro play on certain maps and certain compositions. Pharmacy is still, you know, a thing, and we're still going to be seeing a lot of that. But because of the res will now be single target only, and you get it every 30 seconds, I think we might see more Mercy play at the higher levels, because they'll be able to utilize that kit better than at low levels of play, because they will require more out of their Mercy, and will be able to get more out of that single target res to turn fights, because of their star DPS players that can get those multi-kills, can get in and get those pulse bombs, or those, you know, those death blossoms, or things like that. Get the Winston back, and he has rage mode. He can stall even more just because of that 30-second res. So it can have a big impact, to where in the pro scene, her multiple res value wasn't nearly as common and nearly as impactful because of the skill level of the opposing team. Her 30-second res, I think, will help her at the higher levels of play, being picked up more so. So her healing is still going to be a bit of a bitch. You still need to focus her down. You still need to you know, take her out of the equation. But her res will no longer dictate the winner and loser of games nearly as much, and she'll be more fun to play. That Valkyrie mode, much more interactive, and you'll be able to get more healing done as a whole. So I think, like, you know, with Lucio or with, you know, the D.Va changes that were drastic, it might hinder people at the lower levels because that makes them harder to play and less easy, you know, no skill needed kinds of things, but makes them more skillful and therefore increases their ceiling on what they're capable of doing. So this Mercy change is going to be big, and I think we're going to feel its reverberations in all levels of play.